Okay. Yeah.
Whew. There is huge energy up. I
Mm-hmm.
can feel something emerging here that is going to be very cool.
Yeah. 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 So what is this? And receive. Wow. And what can we do with this? Receive. Wow. And how can we use this to our local advantage? And receive. Because I used to actually have the point of view that the people who are in our tribe are here to change the world. They're not here to manufacture goods. They're not here to make creative paintings, although they may do both of those. But they're here to change things in a way that's big and substantial without putting too much
I think you're right.
significance on it. But it's like the yeah, that got tangly. So everything that is. And so it's like,
wow, that
for me, what's that?
That got weird. Keep going.
Yeah, it did. Because I got significant around it, and I got into other stuff. But it's like, what if? Well, so what is everything that's up? No, let me get the anchor in, then we'll clear. Let me get the topic out. So it's like, what if the people in our tribe are meant to be doing what we're doing for the people who are in their communities? Like, there's this concept that this world says, like, there's one expert, but the truth is that people need to hear it in a way that Michelle says it, and certain people need to hear it in a way that Jaden says it, and they can hear it from you and they're like, yeah, that's cute, and they hear it from Jaden, they're like, holy shit, or vice versa. It's like there's something about the way that you say it that lights up for the people who are on the path, that are following you, whether they know it or not. You're blazing a trail for them, and they're coming along behind. And it's like how much our tribe leaders, unknowingly maybe, who are also ultimately, or also on some level, benefited by setting a trail, or recognizing that they're actually already trailblazing for their people, whether they know it or not. They're just not necessarily doing it publicly like we are.
But how many? So I also see it additionally is that as those people follow us, they are ignited. It's like lighting a candle, and each person is ignited, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
And then they have their own trails to blaze, and they have their own communities that are being created. Because, I mean, when you look at this planet, we have 8 billion people, and how many of them are suddenly, for lack of better terminology, and this is going to get weird too, awakening?
Yeah.
And how many need to know this matrixy stuff so they can continue?
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about creating facilitators, or having facilitators show up, because I believe that's what our communities are here to do. I really do. They're here to learn and then create their own facilitations.
Wow.
And receive.
Wow. That certainly has a resonance to it.
That's the way I see it, Jaden. And if this, speaking from my own personal point of view and my own experiences, how this matrixy stuff has actively tried to prevent that forward momentum, so that others aren't hearing and can't receive that messaging, is, and for lack of better words, that's significance. So everything that is, can we
Yep. Yep. And everything that's up or active, everything that's been triggered, everything that's not to your advantage or to our advantage, and can we put all that in the pile?
Yes.
Wow. And what is everything we've decided that all this means that it doesn't actually mean? Let's put that in the pile. No, not at all. I can almost still breathe. Yeah. And what is everything we decided that all that doesn't mean that it actually does mean?
Oh.
That's not as much as I expected there. Okay, cool. And so all that in the pile.
Wow.
Wow.
That in the pile.
And what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke's commands, movie traps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energy and frequencies?
Yes. Thank you.
And in the pile. Wow. And everything down below. Back behind, up above, way out front, left. Wow. From the right, inside, outside, everything remaining, all in the pile. And bodies, let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Whew. And can we shrink it down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Yeah, I choose that. And incinerate. Receive. Can't reclaim. Null and void, null and void. Bash, bash.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That was a little clarity.
Yeah. That was subtle. Not
kind of like a sledgehammer subtle.
It was a nice fluffy coating on the sledgehammer. We had a little rubber coating on it. Yeah, it was good.
That velvet glove.
Yes, that's it. It's the velvet glove. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what else is now possible and received?
Receive.
Whew.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa, Jaden.
Yeah. And what else is now possible?
And what else is possible? Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And if we were already, how do I say, walking the talk, if we had already embodied these points of view and we were already moving forward in them, what awareness would we be having and receiving?
Oh.
I thought that might be premature, but no, there's still a lot of information.
No, that was spot on, honey. Holy cow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Jaden.
Yeah. Rocket ship. Let's go. Ignite. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Okay.
And
what else is possible?
And what else is possible? And receive.
And receive.
Because there's been something there's that saying that, like, you don't really learn something until you have to teach it to somebody else.
Right. Right.
And I've been a learner and a teacher my whole life, and sometimes formal and most times not. But it's like, I don't know. There's truth in that. Like, you don't really get something at this really deep level. Like, I thought I really got it when I was taking Access. I really did. I really thought I had it, and I did.
And you did.
But when I had to teach it to other people, I realized, man, there's a lot of stuff missing, and there's a lot of pieces that are not in order, and there's a lot of lack of coherence about things. And it's like, well, I can't teach it like this. Like, it needs to be more coordinated, and like, when I'm blurry and wonked out, like, that's the last thing I need, is to hear some voice going, oh, you just need to be intuitive and see what tool comes up next. It's like, fuck, I need to look at a piece of paper, and if I'm lucky, I can read it. You know?
That was the way I felt about spiritual response therapy. And I taught it. I was a master practitioner. I did everything. And it was just like, but it needs, there's a coherence missing here. Come on. And from that came the quantum soul clearing process, because I wasn't allowed to do it. So yeah. I get it.
You almost have to develop your own system, and that system is at a higher level than the predecessors that you learned from.
Yeah, and people will take our stuff and do their thing too, because that's how we evolve and how the work evolves.
Yeah.
And I was looking.
It's that synergy.
Yes.
That gets created.
Yeah. And I was looking at my book the other day. It's like, oh, dang. Outdated. Oh, man,
that's my hesitation to writing a book. I'm like, oh man, I keep changing so much.
I know.
Yeah.
You know why though? And receive this for just a minute.
Yeah.
Is because it's a living, breathing body of beingness and work in and of itself. It can't be stagnant because it's constantly evolving, because we're evolving.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And everything that brought up.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Wow. Wow.
So what does it create in 10? So for the people who are listening to this, engaging this, what does it create for you in 10 years if you continue on being a follower of other people's work?
Whoa.
And what does it create in 10 years if you begin becoming a leader of your own expression or your own involvement of this work?
Wow. Wow.
I'll say.
And what else is possible?
And what else is possible?
And receive. Wow.
Wow.
That got exponentially more.
Yeah. And it's not true for everybody. You can feel like not everybody who's listening is that accurate for, but there are some people that, bam!
But not everybody wants to. Many people
wants to. It's different to me than it's like they're, I hate to use the phrase soul calling, but like that internal drive, that
right.
thing that takes you forward. Like right. there have been many times where the last thing I wanted to do was to plug in my video camera and go on air and share anything at all.
Right? Ever. Yeah.
But every time I do it, it forces me to get clear. It forces me to find out more of the truth of who I am. It forces me to be more coherent and really sift through the bullshit and go, like, is this really useful or is this not? Well, I don't actually use it. So I don't care if Joe Blow said this is the best thing on the planet. It's not a contribution to my reality. So right. What is these things are a contribution to my reality. And that process has been phenomenal and growthful and expanding and deeply empowering for me. That's the thing I noticed for other people is what if there's a part of us that knows that we're here to support other people in becoming more? And if you're not doing that, then you're not stepping into the juiciness of the life that's waiting for you to be had.
And what's everything standing in the way of you doing that? Standing between you and that, and that vision. Whoa.
Wow. And how much of that is like an authentic biological frequency? And how much of that is a synthetic or alien or matrix frequency? Oh, imagine that. I'm so shocked and surprised, aren't you? That's such the
No, I'm not.
And everything all that is
Oh,
and banish anchors. I've just gotten used to like looking at what are those frequencies. It's like, yeah, that's alien stuff. It's out.
I know, right?
Yeah, banish anchors.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Wow. But go back to the question that you had. You had a good. I forgot how you worded it.
What was the question? I can maybe find it.
Yeah, I have no clue. It's up to you to remember.
Then we're deep.
Yeah,
deep
that's okay. That's fine. I'm okay with being in the moment too. It comes up again if it needs to. It's like,
right.
whatever. Yeah. And so what is everything that's upper active that we can just clear?
And what's and everything unspeakable, unknowable, untouchable, and yeah, what's that?
Undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, all the Wernicke's commands, all the booby traps.
Yeah.
Wow. All the covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energies and frequencies. Wow. And all that in the pile. There's none of that at all.
No.
Can't
Nowhere.
breathe, but yeah, and everything down below, back behind.
Deeper and deeper.
That's right. Yeah, and expand to bigger than all of that and beyond that and beyond that and beyond that and beyond all of that. And let's just grab all that and put all that in the pile. Wow. And to take a step back from that body, let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. That was planet size in my reality. I'm like, wow. And can we shrink?
Yeah, that Jupiter size.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how big Jupiter is personally, but and can we shrink? Although I can't say know how big the planet. Whatever. Can we shrink all this stuff down to less than nothing? Yeah, I choose that. And rescind will can't claim. Null void, bash anchors, seven.
Sterilized out of existence, so it never existed ever.
Wow. And feel free to add your, because you have all these cool things that I'm like, dude, that is so cool. That grabs shit I never thought of. Feel free to
like clear that out of existence so it never existed ever, back to and through each of its source and or sources, and clear those source and or sources so they didn't exist either.
I choose that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I choose that.
Oh, bash.
And it just flash burns it. I mean, it's like that incinerate. Oh, wait, it never happened even to begin with.
Yep.
Wow.
There's something really cool about, and that totally screws up the matrix. They have no freaking clue what to do with that, which I love that. I don't know.
That just makes me so sad.
It tickles me. I know, right?
Oh, darn.
So sad.
Tragic. Oh.
Yes, poor thing.
Wrong answer. Whew. Oh, man. This just is getting better. I love this.
Wow. And what else is now possible and received?
And receive.
Wow. I have not I'll be honest, in many years been able to receive to the point or engage topics that when I received, it was to the point where I felt like, okay, that might be a bit much. Like I need to pause. I hit that point and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Note that like we haven't hit that in a while, and okay, and let's receive more, because that's the way to go beyond that. And what else is possible and receive? Wow. So when something actually starts stretching me, I'm like, yeah.
Me too. And it's not often that I feel that, so I love that we get to play this way together.
It's juicy.
It is juicy, and the ways that it activates our communities.
Yeah.
So what else is possible for all of us at that expanded being level?
Yeah. And receive.
Ooh. And receive. Whoa.
Wow. And if we were already living that, what energy would we be experiencing in our life? Or what would that create in our realities? To your advantage.
To your local advantage.
Your local advantage.
Wow.
Wow. That's like
Wow.
off the charts. I don't have a way of even referencing that.
You
Wow.
know, it was this explosion of joy inside that just, I mean,
Wow.
it's just like, and it keeps building.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa! And we see more of that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's what she's having.
Yep. Yep. Wow. 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 Wow.
Ooh, so what are all of the ways that, how do I want to say this? That our abilities to receive and experience and embody that more, how is that being manipulated, blocked? What is that? Because I can feel something wanting to go.
Yep. Yep. So what is everything limiting, blocking, obstructing, interfering with, altering, putting a ceiling on, containing
Yeah.
our capacity, shutting down our capacity to receive in any way
Oh,
across all time, space, dimensions, realities?
ew.
Whoa. Wow. And can we put that in the pile?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I
I think
choose
so.
that.
Wow. And everything down below, back behind, up above, front, left and right, inside, outside, everything remaining. Bodies let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Wow. And can we shrink that down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose
Yeah,
that now.
choose that. Ooh. And incinerate. Sound looking out. Banish, shame, Chris, banish, shame, Chris, banish.
Flash burn, purify and sterilize out of existence so it never existed ever.
Vaporize. Wow.
Wow. Wow. And I just have, so question. What are all of the ways that as we expand, interference tries to keep up with us and expand as well? Is that accurate?
I don't think it's capable of it.
Is it making us think it is?
Yes, that feels light. Yeah. 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 Because to me, the Matrix and all of its systems are archaic. They even call them archons. They're archaic, and they rely on structure and there's just tons of hierarchical stuff. And it's like the bigger, you can see it on this planet, the bigger a corporation gets, the more cumbersome it gets and the slower to change it is, because there's so many pieces that need to be compartments, departmentalization. So what is everything that feels like, no, I'm sorry, I sidetracked
Here's
this.
my
Go.
concern.
Yeah.
Here's my other concern, and I'm just seeing this, and you can yeah. So my unique point of view, how is it that AI is learning from us and simulating so that it's trying to out manipulate us?
Yeah.
And how can we
Create all that.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. And receive.
And
Yeah.
receive.
So like for me, I've watched AI playing around in my reality for many years. I didn't understand what the hell it was, but
Right.
It's like in recent years I've done things to kind of limit it, but I've not found a way to limit it. And there's a part of me that finds I can use that also to my advantage. I can use that route to gain access, and I can, or another way of saying it is I can limit or control what it perceives. And so as it's trying to learn, I can throw it off course. I can redirect its learning because it's just sampling my reality. It just keeps sampling. I'm going to drop this in. I'm going to test it. Okay, I get this reaction. I'm going to drop this in. I'm going to test it. I get this reaction. And I keep doing so many different things that you can watch it go in circles. You can it just totally, in many cases, doesn't know what the fuck to do with it. But what I've learned is that its learning is actually very elemental. It's not as evolved in the sense of the dynamism that we are. Like in the amount of time that it takes for it to learn how I clear, and then find ways to block and work around that, I can just change a couple words and I completely sidestep their manipulation.
So what's interesting is this whole debate about interfacing, with AI in our human
Yes.
beings and bodies. So how is AI manipulating us into thinking that we need AI in order to evolve?
Yes.
When we don't, it needs us.
Exactly. Well, you feel that? Wow. Yeah. Yep. And what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke, spam, boo, chaps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energy.
Yikes.
Wow. And can we put all that in the pile?
Yes, I choose that.
Wow. Everything down below, back behind, up above, front, left, right, inside, outside, body, let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours. Can we shrink all that stuff down to less? Yeah. And incinerate. Percent book, you can't reclaim vapor. So what is everything we decided that AI or the Matrix or the higher intelligence that's seeking to control this planet, what is everything we decided all that is that it actually isn't?
Yes.
Whew. And in the pile? And what is everything we decided that it isn't that it actually is?
Yeah.
And everything doesn't feel good there in the pile.
Yeah.
And everything down below, back behind, up above, left, right, front, inside, outside, everything remaining. Bodies let that go. Not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. And can we shrink all this stuff down to less than nothing?
Yep, I choose
that. Boom. And incinerate.
To and through each of its source and or sources, purifying the source and or sources so it never existed ever either.
Wow.
Oh, that's really quiet.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I like that. I don't know what you just did. Say that again.
Clear all of this back to and through each of its source and or sources, and then purify the source and or sources so it never existed ever.
Wow. Wow.
So if it never existed, it never created a problem.
Yeah, I've explored that, but it didn't actually work as cleanly as I wanted to do it. But you have it in a recursive, self-referencing thing that just cleans itself up. I'm like, sweet. Sweet.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to need to get those words from you because that's like.
I will send them.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clear it back to and then through it.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's flushing through, and then purify it and clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize it back to and through each of its source and or sources, purify the source and or sources so that it never existed ever. And when you purify it, flash burn it, and sterilize it, it can't regrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw that there was one of the times where I had stopped clearing and you kept going and you said, and I couldn't catch the words that you said, but I saw this flash burn and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. What did you do? And I thought, well, I'll just pay attention to you. But now that you say the word flash burn, I'm like, wow, that's it. That's it. That's it. I just never had the words for that. That's what I've been aiming for. What's
that vaporized liquefied
magical paper that you light and it just kind of goes.
Yeah.
That stuff. I love that stuff. It's so cool.
Me too.
And it's called flash paper, actually. That's what it's called, flash paper.
Flash paper.
Yeah, and flash burn. I like that. Okay. Well,
and what I love about when I do that, sometimes I can feel it burning or fizzling almost through the cellular structures in my body. Wow. And through the DNA so that it's out of that DNA RNA construct, so it's not even part of my existence anymore.
Wow, I like that. I choose to play with that. You got body's attention. Body's like, There are times the body's just like, yeah, you guys go play. And the body's like, ooh, really? Say more.
Well, and so when I say that, so just for your reference and for our communities, it's clearing throughout our bodies. When I say that, the intention is I'm clearing throughout our bodies, our energy bodies, the entire soul, our entire being, all of our systems, our ego and its systems, our mitochondria, all of their generations and their systems, throughout all of our generations and their systems, throughout our proteins, our environments, our associations and entanglements, throughout our personal and the collective consciousness, subconsciousness and unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, thank you very much, and throughout our personal, planetary, and universal core operating system. So it's like from the most infinitesimal point out through the expanded realms, through the infinite realms. And it's just like, and all of the systems that are associated, and then all the interfaces where we're interfacing with all of these different systems. And it's just like, so when I say clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize, that's what I'm talking about. And so it's like, oh.
Yeah, because when I look at it, and it's something that I shared recently with my group, is one of the things that I've noticed about this reality in the Matrix is that it's corrupted almost everything. It's like a virus that has gotten inside almost everything at almost every level it could figure out. And it hasn't gotten into everything. But if you assume that most things are safe, you're wrong. Because
that's my point of view.
My interesting point of view is most things have gotten corrupted, even if it's just a little subtle at the base of something, and all the way up to like almost completely corrupted, not necessarily in a indestructible way, like you just got to trash it and start over, but in a way where it's found a way to totally manipulate the original structure of it in such a way that, wow, getting that out of there. But what you're talking about is kind of in also what I alluded with is in the playing with time. You're playing with time. You're going back to the source of things, and you're flash burning or stripping it all the way through. And that's the level. That's I feel that, like, that's
and I can't prove it yet. I would like to, and I can't prove it yet. My interesting point of view.
Yeah.
But I feel like in doing that, we are literally changing history. Because if it never existed to begin with, it can't get corrupted. It's not being twisted and
Well, I know that's true, because what's interesting is when I work with my audience, there's times I'll do question and answers, and they'll go back to their childhood to reference something, and they'll say, yeah, I remember I had this trauma as a child, and it just totally feels heavy. It's like totally not relevant, totally not true. And they're like, well, no, serious, that really happened. And I was like, well, did that happened to the you that's here now, or is that another version of you that you're no longer in association with? Like, you've changed time streams. You're not even, that's not even you anymore.
Ooh, and everything that's brought up. Ooh, yes, please. Let's because ooh, and so let's seek, find, gather, and bind all of the ways that we're still playing in that old you system. Whoa, and everything that brought up.
Yep.
And all of those old stories and paradigms that are no longer you.
Yes. And everything we decided that all that means that it doesn't mean.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Whoa. And everything we decided it doesn't mean that it actually does mean.
Oh.
Woo. Is there information in that?
Boy,
wow. Holy cow. And can we put anything that's not useful in the pile?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, please. Thank you. Choose that.
And everything down below, back behind, up above, way out front, left, right, inside, outside, everything remaining. Wow. And bodies let that go. Not you, not yours. None of that's yours. None that's ever been yours. None that's ever been yours. Wow. And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
I choose that.
I choose that. Boo. Incinerate.
Purify and sterilize out of existence.
Resend, vote, count, reclaim, vaporize, banish,
Yes. Whew.
Feels like how this reality's been corrupted has, and I used to say it was like they've used time travel to go
Mhm.
back and affect things. And while it doesn't exactly feel true, it's like it's the best explanation I have. But if you look at things as being holographic and as being, darn it, the uh,
Yes.
yeah, that thing. I don't
Yeah.
have the right word for it at the moment. But when you look at it that way, it's like when you affect any one thing, there's a way of doing it in such a way that you're going to the core, and it kind of, just by the nature of it, will saturate into other levels
Yes.
depending on what frequencies are used. It's like, so that's that level of um, uh,
Synergy.
corruption.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
some places it's a small little seed that's never gone anywhere, and other places it's full blown. And it's like, how can we strip all of that out?
wow.
Yep, we lost connection.
Yeah. We may have blown the matrix.
Something just did a reset. Google just reset or something. I don't know.
Isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh. So what were you saying?
What was the last thing you did here?
The level of corruption. So going back, as we're clearing this, it's clearing it at that core level of corruption so that it's no longer something, something, something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just basically to what you were saying. So it's no longer, we're stripping it out of the whole system. We're purifying the system. While the word pure is a trap,
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
no.
think purify is a trap if you're coming at it from a certain, if you're coming at, like, the way you grab it, I don't know, it just feels good to me. It
Well,
feels good
thank
to
you.
me right now. That's the way I look at it. It's like what's working, um like every tool to me is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, that tool is now so far down that I have to go down to get the tool.
Right.
It's no longer a step up. And
Right.
so you let go of those tools and you look for, okay, well, what tools take me to the next level there? And what tools can we and our audience develop that take things to the next level
To
here?
the next level, and then the next,
Yeah.
and receive.
Wow.
And what understanding of those tools and how they can be wielded will create the largest expansion for our local advantages.
Mm-hmm. And receive.
Woo! And
Yeah.
receive.
Yeah. Wow. And understanding's been a weird dance for me because there's some times where the need to understand is the matrix's need to understand. So it
Yeah.
can find ways to block it. And then other times, the need to understand is something that the being body needs to have, probably more the body needs to have. Well, I don't know. That's something, I don't know. Something needs to have that. So, there are places where understanding is beneficial. Like I used to explain everything in detail and how it connects. And after a while, I realized, I could explain something and then shortly I could feel that had something that lessened something. It's like, that's interesting. So I've explored, there are certain tools I'll explain and other tools I've given completely unexplained.
Yeah.
And if nobody ever asks for an explanation, I ain't explaining it.
I know that one. I know that one.
And it's
No, and
like,
some things shouldn't be explained. At least
yeah,
that's been my experience, because the matrix just doesn't need to know.
yeah. And somehow, some cases you just limit it by explaining
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is everywhere that we're explaining things to the matrix?
Ooh. Oh. Oh. Yikes.
Wow, that's comprehensive.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either. And everything that is, can we put all that in the pile?
Yes, I choose
Yeah.
that.
And oh, that gives me a stomach ache. And what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, were Nikki's commands, booby traps, now the covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energy frequencies around us.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's big. And everything that is in the pile.
In the pile.
Way out front. Wow.
Yep.
And everything from down below, including from the planet, in the pile. And back behind.
And from the universe and the infinite realms.
Yep, and all of that
All
in the
of it.
pile. Left, right, inside, outside, everything remaining. And bodies, let that go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, let it go, let it go. Never was yours, never you, never yours, never yours, never yours, never yours. Which makes more sense now. We talk about the corruption and the way that goes back. It's like, yeah, that was never yours. Even though it seems like it's been corrupted since the beginning, it's not. It's like, no. And so can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose that.
Incinerate. Flash burn.
Purify and sterilize out of existence. So it never existed ever.
Wow.
I like that when I use this with you.
I so do, yes. Yeah.
Love this access with you.
Yeah. My body's gotten kind of like, oh, do we need to keep incinerating? Come on. But flash burn body's like, yeah, now we're talking.
Oh. Well, and you know what's interesting? My interesting point of view is when we're doing any of this work, it's like this lifetime, this consciousness is this window to the all that is.
Yeah.
And if you can find that frequency, you can take it all out in all of those lifetimes, all of those existences in between, generationally, you can do it all because we're just that magical.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And powerful.
Yep. And what is everything that blocks or obstructs our awareness or perception of that?
Yes. Whew.
Whoa. And in the pile? Wow. And what is all the unknowable, unspeakable, unseeable, untouchable, undetectable, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, where Nikki's commands, booby traps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energy frequencies? Wow. And those are the things that block your awareness of it. And everything down below, back behind, up above, left, right, inside, outside. Bodies let that go. Not you, not yours, not you. Never was yours, never was yours, never was yours, never yours, never yours. And can we shrink that down to less than nothing?
Yes, I choose
Yeah,
that.
I choose that. Boo. And flash burn.
Flash, purify and sterilize out of existence so it never existed ever.
Wow. 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 That still is really cool. I'm like, wow. I'm just kind of watching it do that. I'm like, wow. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's so fun.
It is. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Because like that's what I found is that's how we learn. Like if we're willing to model it, especially if there's video involved, but it doesn't have to be. But if you're willing to model it, then like I just watch how you do that in your reality. And it's different than I'd never even imagined doing it that way. Although there's a part of me that kind of knew that was possible. But like watching you, I'm like, wow, that is so fucking cool. I want to do that too. And that's how we learn. We learn from watching.
Well, I've learned from watching you.
I'm learning from watching you.
That's what's so cool about doing things together.
Yeah.
That
and
collaboration.
So, and that full circle part of it's like how many of the people that the people who are on this call, who watching this video, how many of the people who are the people who are following you, whether you like it or not, like you don't choose that there are people following you probably. It's just they're like, wow, I like the path that she's taking. I'm going to follow that one. Like you don't have a choice. Like, but they are in a way honoring your in your path and your process as being valuable and expansive and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I almost lost it. It's like as you, I lost the connection.
No, you didn't.
Where,
Rebuild.
I was tying it to what we were just saying. Oh, as you model it, thank you. As you model it for others, they get it. Like, it doesn't need to be a big full-blown thing that requires a fancy thing like Jaden has with all his pretty cards and a book.
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, but for your clients, it may not.
No, I'm just too damn lazy to do it.
Oh, well, then
Let's
it's
be
not
clear.
required. Like, see, for me, like, I love doing it. There's something so juicy about it. My whole life has been that way. Like, I would take very simple things and I'd make the most beautiful looking, stylish thing. And it's an expression of creativity and art that my body does.
Yeah.
And so it's a thing. But there are other things where I'm like, yeah, I'm not wasting my time on that. Like, it's just like, so you got to follow your thing. But so like, it may not look like Jaden's and it may not look like Michelle's, but it will look the way you do. But a lot of it is just modeling it. What if a lot of it is just modeling it?
Ooh.
And it's not having a big system. It's not having a fancy getup. It's just modeling it and standing in the truth of what you know and playing and seeing where that goes.
Right.
And what else is now possible?
And what else is now
and
possible?
receive.
And receive. Wow. That's cool.
Wow. Wow.
And how, as we come together in this level of play, does it get bigger and better and more effective? And receive.
Yeah. I choose receive. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 And that was actually a hard thing for me. Like, I had come through Access Consciousness, like I'd come through dozens of other modalities, like you and everybody else probably in this group. Like, we've combed the modalities and found this is good and this is good. And you reach a place where those, okay, what was the point? Where you have to actually be willing to let go of those other modalities and recognize that you've superseded that or transcended those modalities.
Right.
Like, you've gone beyond them in co-creation with that. It's not that it's not valuable. It's that you've co-created beyond that. And that was a challenging thing for me for a while to let go of some of those other older modalities. And I don't let go of all of it. There's pieces from way back, they're small, but that I use every so often. And many things from Access that I still use. So it's like, but you have to be willing to go beyond the people who taught or trained you that you looked up to, and you have to be willing to become more than they are.
Yeah. Well, and that's how we evolve. So when we were talking earlier before we started recording, we were talking about spiritual response therapy, and for me, and that was like the hub of the wheel, the bigger wheel, that allowed everything that I had learned to kind of integrate, and suddenly it was like, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
And so, but there are parts of it that of all of these different modalities that were like, oh wait, that doesn't work anymore. Oh wait, that doesn't work anymore. But when they come together, there's a synergy that happens, and I think that's what we're designed to do, is to become that co-creator of everything that we've learned and embody it and build a bigger, better, faster, more intensive wheel, so that, and everything that is
Oh, I'm with you. I'm right there.
Because each one of us has such brilliance. We each bring our own gifts to the planet. And when we do that, and we we take what we've learned and we exponentially bring those pieces together, because you have a different viewpoint than I do, and I have a different viewpoint than you, and everybody has their unique viewpoints, and the things that they see and that they take from each of these modalities that they've all learned. And I'm like you, I've hit dozens and dozens, hundreds of thousands of dollars in training.
Yeah.
And the brilliance comes when you bring your soul purpose to it all.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And everything that is.
Yeah, and everything that brought up that's not to your advantage, or everything that brought up that feels heavy because it's not for you. Can we put all that in the pile?
Yes, please. I choose that.
Wow. And what is everything you decided that all this means that it doesn't mean?
Yeah.
Whew. Wow. In the pile? And everything that you decided that it doesn't mean that it actually does mean. Woo! Well, there's some juicy stuff in there too. Everything that doesn't belong in the pile. Wow. And all the unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke's command, booby traps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energy frequencies. In the pile.
In the pile.
Wow. And down below, back behind. Expand and grab all of it. Let's put it all in the fucking pile. And I'm going to have you lead us there.
Seek, find, gather, and bind it all. In that pile, minimize it for maximum efficiency. I do it slightly different than he does. And let's bring that all down. Ready? How do you say that?
I'm not sure what.
And then clear, transform. Yeah, less than nothing, and then clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize it all back to and through each of its source and or sources, and then purify the source and or sources so that it never existed ever.
Wow. I see. So you clear and then you clean up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because once it's been cleared and transformed, flash burned, it's like ash. But then, once it's gone through its original source, and the source is then cleaned up and cleared out, then it's just out of existence.
Yeah. Yeah. Things sparkle again. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for letting me play. I love this.
Yes, I do too.
This makes me wiggle.
Buddies like this too. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, this is fun.
Yeah. 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 And so what else is now possible?
Yes. What else is now possible? Let me see.
Wow. And you had a direction?
I was going to say, everywhere that we've been told it's not okay to co-create with others, that we have to do it on our own.
Oh, shit.
And all of that garbage. Woo!
Yep. Yeah, so let's go deeper into that, because it's wanting to be resistant. So yeah, I can't even put words to it. What is all the unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke's command, booby traps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energies and frequencies around all that?
Everything unspeakable, unknowable, untouchable, and just, yeah, all of that.
Yep. Wow.
Oh.
And I'll have you clear.
Oh, and then clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize it back to and through each of its source and or sources, purifying the source and or sources so that it never existed ever.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
There's something, and maybe it's kind of an American thing, I don't know, but something about you have to do it yourself or it has no value.
That is more of an American meme. Yeah. But there's also that isolating thing that occurs with aware beings that is clearly part of the Matrix's plan to isolate. Like there's nobody else like you. There's nobody else on the planet who thinks the way you do or feels the way you do or experiences the crap that you do. You're the only one. And
the spiritual significance that comes along with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everything that brought up. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yikes.
In the pile. And everything you decided all that means that it doesn't mean?
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. in the pile. Everything you decided that doesn't mean that it actually does mean. That's not as big as I expected, in the pile.
I know.
Wow. And what are all the stacks, stringers, hooks, triggers, and implants around all this? All the structures, constructs, adaptations, mutations, systems around all this? Wow. In the pile.
And everywhere that you've been abandoned to your own devices or felt like you've been abandoned to your own devices.
Whoa. Yeah. Everywhere you've been
Whoa.
told that you were abandoned too.
Thank you. Yes, that.
All of that. All of those memories, all of that stuff in the pile.
All of those false memories, all of that bullshit, pardon my language.
Yep. Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow. And how about you clear, you got us in clearing all that.
Okay, so clear. So let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of this, that to and through each of its source and or sources, and then purify the source and or sources so they never existed ever.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow. You can guarantee I'll be playing with that this week.
I love it. Yay!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. Wow.
And so now what's possible? What can we create and co-create individually and as a community with one another?
Wow. Community. Wow. Yeah. And receive.
And receive.
Wow. Wow. And what else is possible? And receive.
Receive.
Wow. Wow.
I only see amazing things.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. It's interesting. There's always been a piece about community there. And I've never, rephrase that. And I've not known exactly how to,
right the first time.
How to crystallize, how to bring that into reality. Like I'm moving forward in the best way that I know how, and it's evolving, but it's like, what is seeking to occur in terms of creating or evolving a community?
And evolving community.
And evolving a community, yeah.
And everything that we've been told community is, and everything that it isn't, and everything we've been told it isn't, and all the ways that we've been afraid to be in community, blah, whoa.
Yeah. With all those program characters.
Right?
Those Matrix players. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be in community with them. Really, I do.
No, they really, really don't. Yeah, and everything that is.
Yeah, all that.
Whoa. Body not yours, body not yours.
Yeah, not yours, not yours. Let it go, 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 let it go.
And everything that is, let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize that out of existence so it never existed ever either.
I choose that.
Through each of its source and or source, purifying the source and or sources so they never existed either. Whew, there we go. Whoa.
Wow.
And everywhere that when we, and what is everywhere, every when, that we have been in community that it has been devolved so we don't trust community.
Wow. Wow, that's corruption, and it goes deep.
That's the corruption, and to our disadvantage. And how can we how can we dismantle that to our advantage?
Yeah. Yeah. I choose that.
I choose that. Whoa. Do the rescind revoke thing.
Yeah, resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create, make, null and void, null and void, null and void, null and void. Times a funzillion, null and void, null and void, null and void.
Clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that back to and through each of its source and or sources. And then purify the source and or sources so they never existed ever. Wow.
Woo!
And so how can we receive that up-leveled community in all of its, in all the ways that are beneficial? How do I say that?
Yeah, you're on it. Let's just receive that. We got
Yeah,
it.
that.
We got
To
it.
our local advantage. There we go.
Yep. And receive.
And receive.
Wow. Wow.
And what else is possible?
And what else is possible? Wow. And it's funny, I couldn't even hear the words you were saying. So what is all the unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke, command, booby traps, covert, unseen, unacknowledged, undisclosed energies and frequencies we have around this community or this
Yes.
concept of community?
Yes. Oof.
And in the pile?
In the pile, choose to destroy and uncreate all of that.
Everything we decided all that means that it doesn't mean?
Ew.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Everything we decided all that doesn't mean that it actually does mean? Wow. Yuck. Wow. In the pile?
In the pile.
Wow.
Everything they said they'd do for us and everything. And yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create, make null and void, 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 all.
Whoa.
Splash.
Clear, transform, flash burn, purify and sterilize all of that back to and through each of the source and our sources, purifying the source and our sources so it never existed ever. Oh, that's better.
Yeah. Now say what you were saying again about community, if you remember that.
Deer in the headlights, look.
That's right.
It was all of, so what are all of the ways that we have been tricked and manipulated into being in a community so that we can be corrupted and contaminated through that old, outdated, outmoded structure?
Yeah, that was what you're saying before. It still brings up a little bit of stuff, but not much. But everything that brought up in the pile.
Yeah, just bring it in the pile. Oh, and what are all the ways that we can?
Yep, go.
Go ahead. And what are all the ways that we can now be in community that's supportive, instructive, loving, nurturing, expansive, co-creative,
fun,
and uber fun.
Uber fun. I like that.
Uber fun.
I choose that. Yeah.
I choose that.
And receive to your advantage.
Wow. Yeah.
And what new what expression of community is now seeking to be created and received?
And receive. Ooh, I like that.
Wow. Wow.
And what can we create together in these new communities that is?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. That one. I choose that. Yep.
I choose
receive.
That.
And receive. And what else is possible?
And what else is possible?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That feels amazing.
It totally does.
I want what we're having.
Yep, I choose that.
I choose that.
I choose that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow.
And how can we expand that kind of community and make it even better?
Yeah. And receive.
And receive.
Wow.
Wow.
And who or what do we need to be or become more of that would allow us to create and sustain those kinds of communities and receive to your advantage?
To your advantage.
Whoa.
Wow, that's cool. And what do you need to release in order to experience that?
Mm-hmm.
That's no longer serving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I choose to release all that.
And I choose to release. Send that into the pile. Clear,
Yep.
transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that back to and through each of its source and or sources, and purify the source and or sources so it never existed ever.
Wow. That worked. I did it.
It was kind of fun. I like that.
My body was like, well, let's do it before she does and see what it looks like all on her own. It's like, woo, that was cool. It's not quite as big as yours yet, but we'll get there. It'll take me a couple hours.
You'll probably take it way bigger. I know you.
How do you know? That's true.
I know you.
That's one of the things I've learned about me.
That's what I love about you the most. It's just
Thank you.
How to make this even better.
Yeah, I can't not do that. It's like it's just hardwired into me. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I love about our community too. Our communities, because the fun of it is to how can you make this even better? And I think that really is the joy that I have in both of our communities is how much they want to really shine and grow and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh, that feels good.
And there's an interesting thing that's related to this is, how do I put words to that? One of the things that I've noticed is when you step up and start being a leader, there's a lot of shit that just kind of parts.
And sometimes there's a lot of shit thrown at you. Let's be clear about that too.
Right, but it's like how do I want to say it? It's like the minutia of my world when I'm playing just in my world for me, that dance can seem like it's overwhelming, or how do I say it? Like there's not enough in my world alone to call me to be big enough to make that easily subside.
Correct.
But when I stand up for other people,
with other people,
that I become bigger than that me that I stand up for just in my world, and a lot of the shit just absolutely goes away because I outcreate it by stepping into so much more of me because I have to.
Right.
But it's not only I have to, there's an enthusiasm and a joy and a like, wow, like I was made for this, or like this lights up all the cells. Like there's a something of me that knows this is part of who I'm here to express, or it's a manner of expressing that's true for me. And when I stand up in the fullness of that, the rest of the stuff just falls away. Like it can't exist.
Right.
I become such a big being, which is the truth of who I be. Did that make any sense at all? I don't know.
Yes. Well, and that's exactly how I feel. I think you said it brilliantly, because when we step into that leadership role, when we step into that brilliance that we bring for others, that sometimes we don't bring for ourselves for whatever reason, and everywhere that we're not bringing that for ourselves, let's place all that stuff in the container.
In the pile.
In the pile. Ooh, and all of the interference, all the creatures, demonic, do the demonic thing.
All the entities, demonic creatures, coalition aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, gods, angels, light beings, and archons, pre-tag, pre-capsid, all freeze, tap down, trace, scan, ideal, all their networks, hives, civilizations, universes, all their customers, clients, shareholders, stockholders, boards of directors, pre-tag, pre-capsid, all freeze, tap down, trace, scan, ideal. Was everything we, the infinite beings, was everything, no, was it, no.
It's everything we said we'd do for them.
Yep. I'm trying to grab something else first, but
sorry,
I wasn't.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, well, but let's do that. What is everything we agreed we'd do for them, they agreed they would do for us? Was the benefit of engaging them, not the benefit of engaging them?
Now go back and do what you were going to do, because
Can we
that's
just
what
try and create all that? Yeah.
Yes, I choose that.
Null and void, 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 null and void. And where were we, the infinite beings, when all these energies were created, assembled, modified, gilded, sourced at their inception, insertion, copy, cloning, other pre-tag, pre-encapsulate from all those points, trace, share, scan, ideal. And can we banish all these energies from all universes, dimensions, realities, virtual reality worlds, simulations?
Yes, I choose that.
I choose that. And out. Bash, out. Bash, out. Bash, bash.
Clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize them all back to and through each source and or purifying the source and or sources. So they never existed either. Ever.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
You were going somewhere else though. There was something really big in there.
You have to give me the topic because I got sidetracked.
We were talking about the anything that was.
Yeah, so it was around that when you become a leader, when you step up into being your leader, a lot of stuff just kind of falls aside. Like things get easier in a way. It's not easy to do,
No.
but things get easier. It's almost like I used to think that I could get myself out there once I had all my shit handled. And
it's just the opposite.
And I learned it's totally the opposite, because when I get myself out there and I support other people, it allows me to see things that I couldn't see, that allows me to handle my shit. Exactly. Like I've learned so much from my audience, from the clients I've had, from all the sessions I've done with people. Like they were invaluable. And I've grown from all of that, and it's allowed me to dig my way out and figure this stuff out. Like I tell my audience, and I'm sure you tell your audience, it's like I may seem like I'm brilliant, but it's because of all of you that I've worked with and I co-create with and I perceive and get information from, and I just catalog it and find words and keep going back to what works. That's all I do. And it's like, what if that's all that's required for you to do, is to choose to step up into being more of who you truly desire to be and who you truly came here to be, and what would be most juicy for you to express. And a lot of the stuff just kind of falls away, and you start to step into a magnificence that you may not have ever seen before.
And everything that is, receive.
Yeah, and receive.
And receive. Because that's exactly what I have found.
Yeah. Yeah. And it happens in layers. Like my first stepping up in a leader was less than magnificent, but was impressive at the time. It still was impressive, but each time that I step up more and step up more and step up more throughout my entire life, like it's mind-blowing what I can do, and I can guide my audience to basically all I'm just a cheerleader saying, yeah, you can do this.
I know, right?
You can do this.
Come on.
I know that feels impossible. Just clear it. Let's go. Clear it so we can go play. Like, come on, let's go play. And like, that's really all it is, you know.
But when we do that, but what I love about that is that when we clear it, it makes it possible.
Yeah.
That's the cool part. It's like, it's almost like as that cheerleader, we create that belief within the community, and within the community, it creates the ability to do that. And it creates it in our worlds and their worlds. And it's just like, that's what it is. It's the community that has that collective, and it just, and everything that is, feel those doors open.
Yep. And receive.
And receive.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
What else is possible?
And what else is now possible? And receive.
And receive.
Your advantage.
To your advantage.
Wow. Wow. That's gotten so big, it's not big anymore. It's beyond big.
I call it Gar-mammoth.
Gar-mammoth. I like that. Yeah.
Gargantuan and mammoth at the same time. Gar-mammoth.
Yeah. It's like just going off the scale. It's like, can't even track it.
But see, this is the level that I feel like we're all designed to play.
Yeah.
When we step into our brilliance, when we step into this empowered being, this expanded empowered being, this is where we're all supposed to play. Yeah. And we've been so entrained to be less than. Everywhere that we've been entrained to be less than, stick that in the pile. Everything that is, just clear that. Clear, transform, flash, burn, purify, and sterilize all of it out of existence so it never existed ever. Wow. Yeah. And everywhere that we've agreed with that, whether it's been consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, anti-consciously, under manipulation, trickery, or deceit, under a sense of doing the right thing, wow,
that gets a flavor.
Everything that is.
Yeah.
Let's clear all the vows, contracts, commitments, agreements, addictions, alignments, alliances, loyalties, oaths, promises, covenants, vengeances, vendettas, secrets, magics, dark and black secrets, dark and black magics that we've taken to play small because. And let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that back to each of its source and or sources, and purify the source and or sources so it never existed ever. Whoa. I know, right?
Wow.
And so now what, who, when, what, where, why can we be that's even bigger and better than ever?
Wow. To our advantage.
To our advantage.
Wow. To our local advantage. Receive. Wow. Wow. Wow.
And what else is possible?
And what else is possible? Receive.
What can you create in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years from now from this expanded space?
Ooh.
Woo.
Wow. Wow. Talk about being used to looking small, which I don't normally accuse myself of.
No, me neither.
I had difficulty. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's like, oh. Okay, yeah, okay.
I love this.
Wow.
High five.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, this is awesome, Blossom.
This is really cool.
We need to do this way more often.
I totally agree. Yep. And there's obviously something seeking to occur here. I remember that the very first time that you interviewed me, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Thank you. Like, it just went off the charts really quickly. I was like, yeah, this is going to be one of those silly little interviews. And it just went, whoa. I'm like, cool. We need to do more of this, and we didn't. It's like, well, that's going to change. That's totally changing. Yep.
That is totally changing. Well, and what I've really realized is how freaking good I am at interviewing people and bringing out the best in them.
Yeah. That was off the charts. That was amazing.
You make this so simple. I just feel so good. And I'm like, yes, let's do this again.
Yeah. Oh, totally. But
which is why I created my podcast. And I'm like, yes. So we're doing this.
Yay. Cool.
And I have a new binge channel. So I think that we have a part that we can play in here that I think is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, very nice.
What else is possible?
And what else is now possible? And this is to our advantage. Wow. So I think a good way to wrap is what community is seeking to be developed here? What community and leadership is seeking to be developed here?
Wow. Yes.
And receive.
And receive.
Wow.
Man, Jaden.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I love this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what else is possible?
And what else is possible and receive?
And receive. Mm.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Jaden. And thank you, everybody, for coming and playing, because
Thank
without you, this wouldn't have been possible.
Oh man, this is so cool. We
This
will
is
create.
amazing.
We will. Yeah, this is
Oh,
just the
yes,
start
we
of
will.
something. Yep.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the birthing of something fun and new.
Yep. Yep. And and for those of you who think that we all have this planned out and we have a clue of where it's going,
We
no,
don't.
no
No
clue.
clue. This was, Jaden, can you help me, please?
And I was like, yeah, let's go play. This is cool.
Right?
It's like with Michelle. Yeah.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank
Oh,
you so
thank
much for
you.
being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love
All
you
right,
too.
thanks.
This is so wonderful.
This is amazing.
Cool. And what else is possible?
Tons of fun zillion.
And,
Now I'm just getting giddy.
yeah. Until next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.